Hi. Since I don't know what I'm doing either, Jenny, the first thing I'm going to do is what I always do, which is procrastinate. So I do the topping first. And I usually do it in a 9x12 pan so that then I can just sit with the topping and the walnuts and just throw it off to the side someplace until you need it. So anyway, that's what I'm starting with. Okay. So I'm putting the stuff in for the topping. I put the butter in, putting those, what do you call them, butterscotch chips, the 1/4 cup K-Rose syrup, if I can get it all out, and the water when I get to it. I think I better turn this down. I'm doing it in this pan instead of the other. Usually I do it in the 9x12, but I'm splitting the rolls into two for Janet and Rick and us. So I'm doing it in this pan. And you really don't need to watch the whole thing. So anyway, you just do this until it all melts and mixes together. Okay, so that's about as good as I'm going to let it get. And normally, like I said, you do this in the 9x12 pan, and then you just throw the nuts on it. But where I'm making it for Janet and Rick and myself, I'm doing half and half in these pans. And hopefully, I'm doing it right. We'll see. So then you just let it sit in there. You throw the walnuts on it and it'll harden and it'll be ready for you. I don't put a whole lot of walnuts. Oh shoot, Cricket, you can eat those. I don't put a whole lot of walnuts because Bob doesn't like walnuts, but I get to eat his. So anyway, yeah, just throw it in there and put it off to the side and it'll cool down. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is the yeast, which is the part I hate. I put a 1/4 cup of lukewarm water in here with like a little bit of sugar, just like a dash, whatever you feel like, and just mix it in there because sugar helps the yeast activate, and hopefully this is gonna work. I think I'm just gonna I'll put both in. So I'm gonna put the yeast in with the water. And then you don't mix it or anything, you just let it sit. And hopefully it bubbles in a little while. So I'll leave it and then I'll come back and hopefully it looks the way grandma's used to look. Okay, here's the yeast worked. It's the best I've ever seen it happen. What I did was I put it in the oven with the light on, didn't turn the oven on, but it seemed to bubble up like grandma's used to. And that's the first time it's ever happened for me. So good luck. Hey, okay, so I added the lukewarm cup of milk, the sugar, and the teaspoon of, is it a teaspoon of salt? What was it? Yeah, a teaspoon of salt in the bowl. And now I'm going to put the yeast mixture in with that. Wow, it has never turned out like this for me. This is the first time. So I guess maybe videoing it was the thing, because mine has never, ever done this before. So I say for sure, put it in the oven with the light on for a while, because it worked for me. So that must mean it works for everybody, right? All right, so I've got that in there. And now, down there. You add the eggs, the shortening, and then you start adding the flour. The shortening, I want to show you something. Hold on. Okay, for the shortening, I do not have, you know how you can buy it in the bars. So I have to measure mine out. This was something Grandma taught me to, I'm sure anybody can figure it out though. I want a half a cup of shortening. So I filled it with 2.5 cups of water. And once the level goes up to 3 cups, then that'll be a half a cup of shortening. So I need more. Is it up to 3 cups yet? Almost. So that's a trick. If you don't have the kind you can measure out, that would work. That works. All right, I'm going to turn you off for a minute. Okay, so I put the shortening in with the yeast and milk and sugar and salt, and I'm going to add the eggs, the 2 eggs, and I'm going to start adding a little bit of flour. And you do just a little bit at a time and work it in. As you can see, my spoon is broken. I had already pre-sifted my 5 cups of flour. So I'm just not winging it. I actually have 5 cups of sifted flour there. Keep trying to smush the, what do you call that stuff? The shortening. And I will turn it off for just a bit. Okay, this is how mine is looking after I added the 5 cups, and it's very sticky. There's no way I can work this with my hands. So I've got to add some more flour in and hopefully get it so I can use my hands. As you can see, I tried using my hands too soon and it's very sticky. So I'm trying to wipe everything off that I can. But it was worth trying, I guess. Yuck. Okay, I gotta get this off my hands. Off. Come on. Okay, I took the dough out and put it on the counter. I'm gonna kind of clean this out just a little bit, and then, I'm gonna clean this out with just a paper towel and put a little oil in it, because when we put it back into rise, I want it to come out as easy as possible. Okay, here it is on the counter. I'm gonna start kneading it and adding flour. And I guess you just keep doing this until it's not really sticky anymore. And I've already put a little oil in the sides, just in that bowl, so that I can get it out after I put it in to let it rise. And I think I'm going to do that in the oven again, the way I did the yeast, because that worked out really well. Because mine never really rises the way Grandma's used to rise. So I just kind of go with whatever I get. still sticking a little bit. I don't know, it's still sticking a little bit. I don't have a pastry board to use, so I just flour my counter. I think this gives me satisfaction smacking it. I hope I'm doing this in front of the camera. I don't even know. Just a little bit sticky, but it's not bad. Just do it a little bit more. I think that's good enough. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick it, if you can see it, in the bowl. And I'm going to dampen a kitchen towel and put it over the top. Excuse me, Goldie. I'm in Georgia. Guess I should have had this ready ahead of time. So I'm going to put this over the bowl and I'm going to stick it in the oven to rise for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Later. One thing I forgot to say is when you put the, I'm going to think of what it's called, the dough into the bowl, put it in and then flip it over so you have a greasy side up, and then let it rise. I did put it in the oven again and let it rise, and it did really well. So this is what it looks like. Now what you're going to want to do is to punch it down. And then you can put it in the refrigerator overnight, and then in the morning you can roll it out and spread the stuff on it to make the rolls. So I'm just going to punching it down. I'm going to put plastic over it and put it back in put it in the fridge. And that's it for now. Bye. Okay, it's the next day, and I'm going to take it out of the bowl, roll it on the counter on flour, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. I've already mixed my sugar and cinnamon together, so I've got that done ahead of time. And now I'm just going to put some flour down here so it doesn't completely stick. And then we have to roll it out into a, what is it? 9 by 18, around there. Because then we want to cut it into like 20, 24 pieces, little rolls. Okay. I'm just trying to make it a little long to begin with. Oops, wrong one. Okay, I use plastic wrap because I've never mastered not sticking it to the rolling pin. So that's what I do. Oh my gosh, gross. Sorry. Piece of hair. Guess I should wear a, what do you call it? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. All right, that's a little bigger than 9 by 18, but whatever. That's what I say, whatever. And what I did this morning was a big mistake, was instead of just letting the butter soften on its own, I tried to stick it in the microwave, and obviously that was not a good idea because it kind of melted. Hey, Cricket. What you doing? No, I'm not going to drop anything. Okay, so you just spread this butter over the top. Okay, that's good enough. All right, then what you do is you sprinkle the, I gotta wash, dry my hands, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then you just sprinkle the cinnamon and sugar over the top. Oh, you get to listen to the commercials on my radio. Aren't you lucky? All right. Then you roll it up. Do you have to go out, Georgia? Okay, I'm gonna have to pause for a minute because the dog has to go out to do her business. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right. Oh, I gotta finish drying my hands. All right, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this, you're gonna cut it in half, and then you're gonna cut each half into 12 pieces. Maybe I should have made it longer. Whatever. Tis what it is. Okay, so I'm going to take half of this and squish them in here. Oops. I didn't roll it very tight, so they're a little bit bigger than they should be. But ask me if I care. No, I don't. You're waiting for me to drop, the dog's waiting for me to drop something. Yeah, those are little, I think maybe that raised a little too much on me. Whatever. It will turn out the way it turns out. And all I can say to you is good luck. Jam them in there. And now I'll do the next one. So good luck, you guys. Oh, shoot.